All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It was another historic day. You were about 2 minutes from a circuit breaker, believe it or not. At one point, the NASDAQ was down 7%. Oh, yeah, hello. And I guess I had to get a refresher on my limit down rules because you have to stay below that point for about 2 minutes. And that did not happen, and we bounced back up, no circuit breaker. You close the day down 4 on the NASDAQ, down 3.5, and I have no other way to put this to you. Everybody and their mother is terrified right now. Yes, indeed. So very historic. You haven't given up all of the rally, but like we said, you had to be careful. I thought you were going to get a free day. I thought you would have got a little bit more, given Trump kind of back down a little on the bonds, but nah, the bonds are still doing their thing. Even right now, it's literally dying, and we got to talk about it because I literally told you guys worst case scenario, and today we're just going to talk about it all the way through. We'll even go over a couple of plays. I did play TLT today, and it worked, surprisingly, but it was very difficult, and you even had a good bond auction. But all of that being said now, we have a very big event tomorrow. It shouldn't be. You know why? Your core CPI today came in lower, and your headline CPI came in negative. Did you know that? You have the lowest CPI since inflation started. Wow. No one cares because tomorrow, the blue hair, Michigan consumer sentiment, baby, cannot be stopped. Listen, bro, I'm honestly proud of them. I'm not going to lie. Liberals, good shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was like a fist fight, no, you guys win at burning Teslas. I'll give you that. Like radical violence, that's, like bitch shit, I'll give you it. But this one, you guys got this one. I respect the power. You know what I'm saying? And what y'all doing, that's a cool thing, bro. So it's honestly, y'all moving trillions of dollars. Fuck the CPI, all of that. And it's awesome to see. So that's what we're going to deal with tomorrow. I hope you guys are ready for it. And I think we're going to have another interesting day. We'll talk a little bit about strategy because I think you're going to get a lot of movement. The real question is going to boil down to the prices and the plays and what we going to do, baby. So, Chad, we got a lot to talk about. I got a lot for you today. Everything from bonds and pretty pictures. I got the Twitch up, and I don't even know, bro. I don't know if I should tell you. Should I tell you now, or do you want me to save you a surprise at the end? But let me say good evening, baby. What's going on? What up, Noah? What up, Godfather? What up, guys? Isaac, Jonathan, Danny, baby, Amir, Jaden, Gregory, Christina, Wesley, Samuel, Javier. What up, Ben? How you doing, Alyssa? Good evening, Persian, JG, Asadis, Larky, Ivy, Thomas, Kodiak, Frank, Ayush. What up, Rye? What up, Esther? What up, Kalena? Oh, let's go, baby. Good evening. So what about the Twitch? I had to turn the Twitch on. I felt bad. I did members only 3 days in a row. That's it. And I got Twitch now. I felt bad leaving y'all out. But it don't make sense, bro. I feel it's funny because I'm kind of like hella tariffing people too. I didn't really realize it till I started getting tweets and mother effers tweeting at me like Justin Trudeau. They're like, well, fuck Josh. Just end the watch list then. Just go fully private then. I'm like, so you're mad that you don't got the 10 minutes that you didn't even watch when I would beg you to watch it, and now you want me to just stop all of it then and just fully then. You fucking man, you've been watching too much trade negotiations. You know that. I was just well, we'll see. Maybe that could change tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I got surprises for you. Baby. So I hope you're locked in. I don't know, man. We have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's start with pretty pictures. How about that? I'm going to already drop a bomb on you. Are you ready? Today was a very weird day. Not only did you have the sell-off, and again, it makes sense. We're going to talk about how people are really feeling, but There's one big factor. The bonds are still dying, and that's very, 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 every English teacher would get mad at you for using very, and I just used it many, many times. I very much like it. I don't see they're going to get mad at me, but it's okay. I'm self-employed. I don't need you. But at the end of the day, why this is so bad is because every safe haven in the world rocketed up. No exaggeration. The Swiss franc, one of the biggest moves in 10 years. Japanese yen, damn it. The Japanese freaking yen. The Japanese yen, bro. The Japanese yen. Imagine that thing, even if they were like, we're going to raise rates, anything, they've had a difficult time catching a bid. That went up 2%. Gold, my friends. You ready for this? Here's your first pretty picture. This is insane. This is the biggest 48-hour move on gold since COVID. Literally March of 2020. That's wicked. Again, I sold my gold play because it expires on Friday. I was negative, and then I was up 40%. Took my play because I'm like, it expires on Friday. And then it just does this insane move, bro. And it's still running right now. So why is that such a big deal? Because every safe haven in the world, but now America, the safe haven of America, that did not catch a bid. That's a very big deal. Believe me, if I was already telling you that prior and everything, but to watch what you just closed with today and kind of what you're probably going to see tomorrow, because now that's unfortunately, why is this such a big deal? Because this now just unlocked one more thing. I've always told you it would be the yen when the time is there. I didn't think it's there now, but unfortunately, you might have to put it on watch. That's the unfortunate nature of not only the situation, but kind of people even overreacting. Again, it's been hard to get Wall Street to buy the yen, let alone the rest of the world. So to get them to buy that now and dump the U.S. Treasury, it's kind of like the Treasury is becoming the yen, what the yen was pretty much last year. But here's the problem now. This opens up this new chart. You just unlocked another one. Isn't this amazing? Not just the chart, but I'm saying you now just got another giant-ass divergence created. It's no longer bonds and stocks. Now, because think about what happened today. Every currency, every safe haven got a massive bid while the Treasury sold off. Very damaging to the dollar. Very, very damaging to the dollar. So that brings the dollar down, and now you have the yield surging while the dollar is plummeting. And now this is the next gap because, again, you could go back the last couple of years. Usually the 30-year goes up, the dollar's strengthening. 30-year goes down, the dollar's weakening alongside with it. Now, ever since all of this, and now especially as of late, because you were watching it, the 30-year was going down, the dollar was going down. Yeah, again, people were going to other currencies, but now you just had that snap, and now yields are rocketing. That's why we're saying you got to watch this bond market, and while the dollar's getting massively weaker, and then there's now a capital outflow going everywhere but the United States. So this is the big deal, and that is really the sentiment coming into today. Why did we have a massive move yesterday? That was because of what we had to deal with the trade pause. It was good news, seemed like a pivot. It was to some degree, but you woke up this morning and now people are very uncertain. They're saying that the damage is done already and that from now until the end of the term, even beyond, I think this is a little bit too dramatic. They're saying that there will be a permanent uncertainty with U.S. policy. But long story short, people are terrified right now. Legitimately, whether they believe it or not, or whether or not they're just saying it, this isn't just like, I'm telling you, you cannot escape the headwinds of everything. This idea that tariffs are going to cause inflation or slow down growth, end America dominance, even end long-standing trade relations that have arguably withstood way more, That's you guys realize that everybody still likes us after like Vietnam? Do you guys know that? You realize, and then like even what Japan and all the stuff we've done from like the 70s to the 90s, you guys know that? George W. Bush single-handedly in fucking Wall Street just helped melt down the whole global economy at one point, and they still were like, fuck you, America, but we still like you. So, and maybe it was a different generation. I'm definitely, I'm not ruling out anything. I'm not, I'm not certain about anything. I'm, head on a swivel. But fact of the matter is, though, people are at this early stage. They're really stretching this fear, but it doesn't matter. Like I'm saying, whether you believe it or not, this is, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to communicate to you guys right now. I don't care if you believe it, you agree or not. That's not really what we're arguing. The fact is that narrative is still in play for Wall Street right now. And people are reacting to that, whether you agree with it or not. That's why you almost had a limit down today. We're moving around. And that's why tomorrow it's going to be a little bit crazier. So I was expecting, like I told you, you're not out of the woods. I thought tomorrow you had a shot at a free day, or today there was a shot where you could have either squeezed or, like we said, hangover. You shot up 10, 11, dropped down 7, closed down 3. It was kind of hangover-y, but you definitely had a lot more fear than I thought would carry through. Again, a lot of people were still very worried, but maybe this is part of the price calibration, or maybe, no, the bonds are still broken and we have a bigger problem. So we'll see what happens, but when it's all said and done, these headwinds are strong, and you have to understand right now, people are pushing, and this narrative, sadly, it's kind of been going on for 3 months. Whether or not the inflation shit is true, you got to think about it. Since like January, February now, this has been one thing after another, but now you have the markets playing along. You don't have the hard data playing along. You have the soft data playing along, but now the markets, money's going everywhere but America. This idea of American dominance. We went in from exuberance and American exceptionalism to, again, now it's turning into humiliation. I literally talked about this. This was Morgan Stanley, Michael Wilson, who brought this up, again, months ago. And this is what happened. And it's kind of wild to think about, but you have to realize, though, that is what is going on in the world right now. And that's why I'm saying this fear, whether or not it's true or how far it'll go, fact of the matter is you have people talking and doubting now America exceptionalism for the first time in a while. And now we see how long that lasts, but that's part of these reactions you're getting. And again, the reaction of the bond market where they're dumping that and they're going everywhere else. Again, whether it's a problem, a blow up or not, this is the broader thing swirling that has led to it, more or less. So very important. We'll see how this plays tomorrow. And now I'll tell you this. I have no idea where we close tomorrow. Okay? I don't know if we're going to be up, down, 5% up, 4% up, down, whatever. I don't know. No idea. But I do think we got like 3 to 4% swings. Whether we gap up 2% or gap down 2%, I think you're going to get something like today where, you're going to move crazy in one direction, crazy in another direction, and then set at a generally, again, like 2%, but I think it's going to be a little larger, and I think you're going to get a negative reaction from the sentiment. I think, sadly, this is especially if after yesterday you got this sell, people are still worried. It's the same exact setup. Get the hard data, ignore the hard data, and then now you're going to get damn well it's going to be a negative print tomorrow. Even if CPI went down, you are going to get a number, a 1-year high inflation. Again, just imagine, and here's the crazy part, tomorrow's data is fresh. It's not like a final survey. It's a preliminary. So this is for the next month. I don't know if it's going to account for Liberation Day, but, the rhetoric, the news, it's gotten very crazy. So I don't really expect it to be a tempered inflation expectation, and that's going to be one of your main triggers tomorrow. So all you need is the right premiums. And that was the problem today. And we talked about it being a shit show. We talked about there being that hangover, and there was. I still made plays. I grabbed the put. It even went up 700% at one point, but there was only 30 minutes. For 30 minutes in the day, the puts were jacked up still, but they were a little cheaper. After I bought that play for the next 7 hours, it never went negative. That was very difficult. Same thing, TLT. I made a TLT straddle or strangle in the morning. I went both ways on TLT. Why did I do that? Because TLT was down literally 3% in the morning. Like I told you, just do the opposite of the pre-market, and then you had the auction. So it worked for a little bit, but then essentially what ended up happening, I went both ways because the puts, remember, you had a little bit of a gap up. The puts were finally cheaper. Puts that were going for 50 cents yesterday were down to 3 cents. So I bought them. And then I bought the calls. But I got them right off the morning, right? And then TLT goes up, goes down, dances around. And then guess what happens right here? My puts are up. My puts are actually break even. My calls are still up. Even though I'm up 30%, even though it moved. And then it drops. I don't make anything on my puts. And then right here, my puts go up 100%. And then right like here, they go up 200%. Or was one of these. I have to double check. It was so stupid, bro. Oh, I'm on the Twitch. Oh, my bad. So, yeah, I got him in the morning. I'm showing you here. Like, this is the morning I did the strangle. But the weird part about it was that the calls were, I was so pretty much like right here from the morning. TLTs do, this is a lot. This was down like 2%. The calls were still green. And then the puts went up 400%. And then the auction, they were up a ton. Then it's a good auction. I sell the puts. Even after the auction, I still get 300% on my puts. I hold the calls. They go up for a little bit. It dances around. Then I'm still holding them. The puts did pay for all of my calls. But then I went back into the puts again. But the whole logic of this was simply that the premiums in the first window of the morning, if you made a strangle and went both ways, you got paid out on both sides. After that, any play was skewed and it was harder to hit. So this is going to be our dilemma coming into tomorrow. Same exact thing that I told you guys yesterday. You have to make sure these premiums aren't too jacked up. Again, I went small. The only other plays I made today was the staples. And again, it was a good play, but at the end of the day, you're going to only get a little window. If the premiums, they wouldn't come down the whole day. There was just that little window. So I think we're going to get a lot of movement tomorrow, but there was a lot of people that showed up today and they were like, damn, I got burned. It was very difficult. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but if you find some cheap ones and that window's there, act on it. But after a certain point, just don't try to force it, and we'll see, though. Maybe after today, maybe they open it up, or maybe we get a wild enough news mixed in with not a crazy gap and real life shit, that could be good. So you never know, baby. You never know. So get ready for all of that. But now I got another final chart to show you. And this is how I feel right now. I keep juggling and bouncing between them. But now, after today's move, I really feel like we are in 2018 right now. And that's not good. I don't know. You guys remember? I love it because I think you see it now. How many times before today, like back in the day, like years, bro, I would always be like, dog, you didn't see 2018. I'll be like hella Joe Biden telling you about the Amtrak, just telling you about how scary 2018 was. That was a year I was actually scared. Again, I did good. I did decent, but it was terrifying. And at one point, it was a drawdown where I wanted to vomit. Like, I was actually like, whoa. Like, and it was doing shit, and it was so surprising that it was just like, I always said that. You guys would bring up 2020, and I was like, I surfed 2020. That was great. And it was sad, actually, the repercussions and effect on society and politics and the money supply. But don't get me started. But as far as reacting as a trader, we did amazing in that moment. But yeah, 2018 was that was a scary year. I always said it. But yeah, after today, this is what it was like, dude. And look, the bonds are literally about to blow up. This is what I'm telling you. It's like the bonds, and then the up 10, down 7, up 4, and it was just insanity. And and it did it for a while. So let me show you. Don't let me just tell you. I could probably find you guys videos. I have recorded streams from back then too. But I'm just going to show you the chart, bro. And I think you'll see it. Sorry, see, now I got to do the Twitch and the YouTube. You don't want your first 2018, bro. Fuck this. For real, bro. Fuck this. I'm telling you. Man. Fuck this. It's not what you think, bro. Because eventually, like, long story short, bro, it's a 7 on the craps table, bro. I really think they're going to rake everything in. So you got to be careful. And it was eventually Powell caved, but nah. So it's right here. You see it? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The weird part, a lot of people, like, the beginning of the year was insane, but I don't think we're doing that, because beginning of the year when he announced it, this is when he was going slow. That's where I was telling you the other day. I'm like, this is so freaking fast. You have no idea. But because this was the whole drop, announce the policy, April, So this isn't where we're at. I'm talking about right here. I remember this moment vividly. I was at my mom's house when Munchkin fucking called it in. I vividly remember that whole fucking 3 months, bro. Every day almost. Everything about it was terrifying. It was right. It's like a chop of doom, bro. I'm telling you, I saw so many people make money and then lose money, then make money and then lose money, and then make money, lose money. By the end of it, bro, you wanted to throw up. You hated Donald Trump. I'm telling you, it was wicked. All for it to end with Powell caving and then launching on top of it, and then creating this reverse repo and then cutting rates like a year later, bro. Like, it was actually wild. So at the end of the day, this is where I think we're kind of at, and I think we're gonna start doing this, because you guys got to realize this is what it's like, where you big drop down, get back half of it next day. But like, look at these candles. You would drop huge, come back up, close red, and just keep doing that. And then like it was like really like right around here where you would have, fat gap down, test the low. You're about to test multiple lows, panicking. Then it rockets up, and then 3 days you take the whole floor out. That's what I'm saying, though. But this is a course of 2 months, all for it to end with a blowout. And every weekend, every other weekend, you're going to have no idea what's happening. So, yeah, bro, it's terrifying. Terrifying. But I do think, though, that we're there. I don't know about, if you want to take what I'm saying and be like, yeah, we're going down 20%. I mean, I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. I think the big part is right here, the chop of doom. I don't know if I don't know the doom. I don't know how doomy it'll be. Maybe it's worse. What if we go down 40%, dude? I don't know. What if we go up? Who knows? All I'm saying, though, is this moment of this was a level of uncertainty and frayed tensions, but this was something that the market movements, and now up 10, up 12, down 7, close 4. Let's see what tomorrow brings with the data. This is very 2018-esque. So we'll see what happens, but that is your final key of the day and the evening. And now, are you guys ready to talk about the bonds breaking and TLT? Are you ready for this? Here it is. So what happens if the bonds, quote unquote, break? What do we mean by that? So in this case, what I believe is going to happen is that rates are going to surge. So rates are going to go high. You're going to go maybe 5, 6, who knows? This is what I don't think people realize. If it really gets bad, some bonds, and watch, when you really, if somebody starts cracking and breaking, you're going to see 20, 30, just crazy interest rates. I don't think people realize this. That's, again, this is what happened in 2018. This is why they had the repo crisis, because all of a sudden one day, no money showed up to the market. I'm telling you, Wall Street was dry. It was actually insane, kind of like the gold thing, where, you know, all the gold is in, there was no money on Wall Street on that like Christmas month, all December. That's when you had the doom. The money just didn't show up. It's still to this day, people really debate what really happened. But essentially the overnight funding rates, they surged up to I think it was 7, then 15, and I think they went as high as 30%. So that meant there was no money anywhere. The lending markets freezed up, and they said, you want me to give you money for a day, give me 30%. Think about that. That's because, again, that's to incentivize money, because there was no money. It wasn't there. People wanted the money. So this is what I mean by bonds breaking, where you get a moment where if the rates start going high enough, like do you not see what's happening? You're having reasons that rates should go lower. Even CPI coming down today. But it's not. And now rates are going up really fast. That's what I think some people are failing to grasp with all of this. Does it have to do with the rates going high? Yes. But now it's doing it really fast. Do you not realize, unabated at this rate, the 10-year will be at fucking 7% by the 10% by the end of the quarter? What are you talking about? It's really quick now. So what happens when bond rates move really fast? Investors that invest in that, you don't want that. That's not stable. That's not good for fixed income. So if the rates start getting unstable and start to kind of get detached from things, or other conditions materialize, right? And people get confused, people are going to stop lending. That's what I mean by the credit market seizing. People will stop lending because now they're going to be really unsure. Listen to all the news, it's the irony of everybody telling you about the uncertainty is that it raises the uncertainty. It's kind of like a bank run. Like I'm saying, if people are telling you there's going to be a bank run, there's more likely going to be a bank run. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now people are like, it's really uncertain. And that's why the rates now, no matter what, they keep going up. And they're certain about a very bad scenario or an inflation scenario. That's the irony as well. But then if it keeps going higher and higher now, people are like, it doesn't make sense. We're uncertain. Let's wait a little then. We don't want to do this. And then now as people stop lending and then people need money, because not everybody's going to need money, but some people rely on that overnight funding and banks and all of it. Now they're going to say, well, shit, 10%. No one's giving out money. We don't know what's going to happen in the next week, month. Again, this whole idea of everybody talking uncertainty, this feeds into it, literally. It makes sense. And then they're like, oh, well, I don't know. Give me 10%. Give me 12. Give me 15. And then before you know it, credit activity just stops. And that's what we mean by now the bond market breaking. Because now it stops functioning where people in America and the world can go to the bond market to get funding. You can't pull money out the same way because the money's not showing up because they're so uncertain that they're like, oh, well, maybe we'll wait, and then the rates go. It's very bad. That's why I'm telling you. That's why it's like, okay, if this does hit a certain point, I don't care what anybody thinks. This is objectively a problem. It's like this is the plumbing of money in the market. This goes beyond. And then that's why I'm saying now it's essentially what you need. If policy pivot now and we're still dumping, and if we go lower and faster on the bond sell-off right now, that means the policy pivot's not working unless there's a really good deal. That means the only person that could come in is Jerome Powell. That is your buyer of last resort. So I'm bullish on the bonds as long as they don't die by Monday, because there might still be a little bit of recalibration. But at this moment, you want to play both ways. Not a recommendation, but you have to be careful of the premiums. But why now? So do you understand my vision of what I see as a bad scenario happening? Essentially, TLT dumps really large and really fast, right? HYG dumps, again, just like COVID. You wake up one day, the money's not there. The rates surge because everybody's terrified. Or for whatever unknown reason you don't know about. But TLT would fucking crash. And then it gets so bad, everything seizes up. You either have major policy pivot, or the only way, your boy Powell comes in and then the TLT rips because the intervention. But then how much TLT rips and for how long, that depends on what Powell does. Make no mistake. It's not just, okay, we fucking ride off into the sunset like some fairy tale. No, it depends on what action he does and by how much and all of that. But do you see the logical progression of this idea? So again, if the bond market doesn't break, if consumer sentiment and by Monday next week, TLT levels out, we don't get this pressure again, and it cools, great. We don't really have to worry about this. But if now you keep getting data and deals and now safe havens and dollar down and bond yields just start dumping more and more and more, and it gets fast and big, this is probably going to lead to the next level of TLT breaks down, funding markets get a very bad damage, and then somebody steps in. So people have talked about this. I'm not the only one. Like, even though this is terrifying, again, after I was telling you about this, people started saying basis trade, and I heard on Bloomberg and CM, they were bringing people up who are like, yeah, there might be forced intervention. There might be something of that nature. TLT 82 will be a level to watch, but again, it might go lower. It might go bigger too. That's the crazy part. That's what I'm saying. It's going to just be, who knows? But the whole idea is if it really gets bad, TLT just loses its legs. The bond yields just surge to God knows whatever. And then that surge is going to get so unbearable, it freezes credit. Powell has to step in. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. Why by Monday? Because if nothing bad happens over the weekend, or even if you get bad news, or even after tomorrow, like I'm saying, if the bonds level out, velocity slows down, the yield shows some restraint, and it's not just this mad dash to dump, the x-axis, the longer it takes for it to go down, the better. So if it gradually came down, then that would chill it out a little bit. But the whole point is that right now it's flashing red. You're having data and a lot of things going on, but it's happening, and it's happening very quickly. It's happening very fast. That's why it's like, this is like, I mean, again, pull up TLT. Look at these charts. Even when you pull it out on a multi-year chart, this shit really stands out. You see what I'm saying? But like, look, in 5 days, you gave up the whole year. In 5 days, you moved almost how much TLT moved all of last year. You see what I'm saying? This is not a typical move. So this is a big one right here. You've had, I think, 2022. That's when you were getting these, but we were at a different point, right? But that's why I'm saying now, though, this is at 4, 5, 5. And then people are worried, and literally people feel and are just talking the literal uncertainty. So we'll see. But that's why it's like, as long if it don't break, you slow this down, we could chill. But if otherwise, but that's why I'm saying both sides is the play right now. Because if it's going to blow out to the downside, you want those puts, and then when they come in and step in, that's it. We get our solution, and then we judge the upside from there. So, and then, or you could just go at the end and say, fuck everything else. Call it a day. Until the Japanese do something crazy, which is in the cards too. So, I hope that makes sense. I think there's a lot of questions with that. But that is play number 1. Play number 2, Pfizer, XLV. So I made a bunch of staple plays today. They held up today, and Pfizer was one of them because I got them at 1 cent. Like I said, I was going to do some, and that's what I came into today doing. I grabbed a couple of like 1-2 penny plays. So no matter what, like they weren't that expensive. And I got some exposure. I did my TLT straddle and all of that, but I was liking them. So Pfizer, though, I think with, and then watch XLV, the pharma tariffs, I think we might get something either Friday or Monday. I'm on the call side for now because the puts are just too expensive. But, and like literally, I think the $1 puts on Pfizer are like at $5 or something. And then the spreads are wicked. But if we get a bounce on it, I would look to make it both ways. Because like, think about it too. TLT, I didn't have the puts. I sold them. Remember, I got that 1,500%. But then I was naked on one of those days. And then after today, I was able to grab the puts after they died. So if there's an opportunity to get cheap ones, then yeah. But just be on the lookout for news, possibly. We'll see how that develops with some of the policy. But I'm going to be watching that. And then play number 3. I saw Chad say it earlier. K-Web. There was a China delisting rumor, yes. Believe it or not, the China delisting rumor existed in 2018. I think this is where this idea started when Donald Trump was talking about it. But this will start circling from now until the end of the trade war. You're going to hear about this at least once every 2 weeks, I would say, from here on out, until we get a deal with China. This is going to be this is like, let me put it this way. You remember the days of the OPEC rumors? That's what this is going to be, essentially. So you're going to just hear about it randomly. Sometimes it'll cause a big move. Sometimes it won't be. But, yeah, it's all up until we get a trade. Once you get a deal, then you'll stop hearing about it. But if you do get a retaliation tomorrow or over the weekend, watch out how this plays. Because, again, I think China, Apple, Boeing, those would be ones I'd want to watch, again, tomorrow, thinking coming into the weekend, Monday, and all of that good stuff. So, other than that, we'll take it as it comes. And tomorrow around the consumer sentiment, God willing, if the premiums are there, we'll get plays. Otherwise, don't be afraid to say no, okay? Say no to high prices, both in consumerism and the option chain. Amen? Amen, baby. Amen. So that is your watch list for everybody. On the recap, 38 minutes. I took a while there. I was having a little fun. But is there any questions? Any questions? You tell me. If you have any questions. Good evening, baby. What a stock traded. Woo! 2025, the new gold rush. I mean, people are buying a lot of gold. Great watch list. My definition of a bank run, SVB. People pulling money and deposits going down at a rapid pace. The name of the song at the end of the day is called Enslow by Uncle Answers. I do think cutting rates will do something, but not if it's small. So he would have to cut rates in half, I think, sadly. But people are doubting it. But I do think it will. I mean, it's a very blunt policy tool, and it does work when it does work. But it has to be a lot, unfortunately. But this is, remember, I was telling you guys, this is scary. You guys don't remember? I hate it. I'm mad I said this shit out loud, bro. I'm even mad I said bank run. I don't like putting this shit out in the universe, bro. You know that? I'm not really like, I hate it all because this is what I was telling you. The real scary part of all of this is that, remember I told you China and deflation. Remember I told you, I'm like, dude, the real scary part, because you just asked me, will a rate cut have effects? And I said, you got to be careful because if we don't do it right one day, there will be a day that the rate cut doesn't hit. And that means we're in deflation. That's what happened to China in the last 5 years. Dude, China used to be money everywhere, bro. Everybody would get rich. And they would gamble. Their markets would boom. You thought you guys YOLO, you don't know anything about, go to 2013 to 2015 China, dog. You have no idea. You have no idea, bro. They're insane. This is where all these damn, even Korean movies, all of the plots are centered around somebody gambling. You ever notice that? From Squid Game to any of them. It's crazy. So, yeah, bro. I don't think people really, but then after their crazy policy, Xi Jinping, again, the common prosperity and the crackdown, even after, and it destroyed so much, and the sentiment soured so bad. That's why so long now. That's why when China does stimulus, it doesn't react. They cut rates, it doesn't react. It's because of that. So that is the scary part. That's why I'm like, it's funny because most of the people, a lot of the market's going to talk itself into it's going to talk itself into deflation. I have no other way to put it. Because again, the more and more people hear that and believe it, then yeah, that essentially happens, and it is not a good thing. But because now, again, Chinese people after this, they don't want to gamble. They're like, screw that. Watch. Let me put it this way. If we did have that scenario and we did do deflation and did what China did, 5 years from now, some of you will never buy an option ever again in your life. Some of you might not ever buy a stock ever again in your life. Some of you now, 5 years, you love crypto. You are going to, at the word Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, I'm being dead, because that's what happened. That's literally what happened to people in Asia, but that's what happened to people in America in 2001. In that, we were early, so the stimulus and rate cuts kind of helped. But again, that's why there's some people, even after 01, bro, they never touched the stock. They said, nope, I saw that. It's a scam. Again, some of you will never buy, or you just changed your mind about real estate, but you saw 08. You're like, screw that. I'll never buy a house. Not because you're like, I can't afford it. You're like, it's a scam. So, yeah, that would be scary if we got to that situation. But again, I mean, if they're really bad and deflationary, that's what I was telling you guys. That's what I'm worried about, not inflation. That's why I'm like, what? So it's like, I agree with people. I'm like, yeah, can Trump policies lead to a really negative outcome? Yeah. But it's not the outcome most people are saying. And that's why I'm like, it's really odd that everybody is just skirting around demand destruction. Because some people brought it up today with the CPI, but they were whispers. Some people were like, why did the CPI go down? Why was it negative? Is that good? Did it not account for the data? Or is that some demand destruction? But yeah, so we'll see. Well, it will bring prices down, but it will leave scarring for a couple of years. And then you run the risk of having a long recovery. That's it. But it will bring prices down. So that is kind of the bitter. It's a very bitter pill because, again, the cost of living is really high. Houses have doubled in a span nobody's ever seen before, bro. You know that. Houses, bro. I was all about real estate when it was going up 5% a year, bro. What do you mean houses are doubling? What? And then tripling. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Well, I mean, look at China. Again, like China right now is your example. When it's all said and done, and that's the scary part. And I said this is a theory I told you guys a while ago. But that is unfortunately the negative outcome. I mean, yeah, but China, same thing happened to Chinese real estate. It went from nobody was buying it to all of a sudden, even with the culture in China, you had to own a home. It was to develop in life. But the house prices were so expensive, and then all of a sudden, now they're not. But then again, now nobody wants to buy a house in China. Do you guys not see the problem with real estate? Most of the last couple of decades, the problem with real estate is that everybody is either really enthusiastic about it, or they're really not enthusiastic about it. And they're like, no, that's terrible. Or they're like, yeah, it's amazing. Oh my gosh, I'll pay anything. It's I don't know why it's the in-betweens have kind of escaped us. But yeah. Ta-da. Deflationary market, you'd want a little cash, but diversification. I'm already prepared for this. You are too. If you have been following along with your long-term, our strategy, value, dividends, growth, we're there. We could handle deflation if you build up cash. That's what I'm saying. That 20% cash, if you get deflation, we'll triple our portfolio with 20%. You see what I'm saying? If you really get prices going. But that's why I said, because even when we were building the last couple years, we also had the risk of extreme inflation. So diversification was the answer. And we're still there, and we're good to go. You're giving me anxiety. You're giving you anxiety. That's insane. I give hope, my brother. I give hope and peace. I just said you're covered and you got diversification. You got nothing to worry about. The answer to tomorrow's quiz, the watch list. So, here's the deal. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? I feel bad. But you guys remember, this is what I want to do tomorrow, if this schedule allows it. But my plan was to give you guys a quiz. The top 10 scores, they will receive a discount on Stream Alerts. Or I'll give them a member. Well, you have to be a member. Yeah, that's a problem, though. So never mind. Yeah, just a discount on Stream Alerts for the top 10. Okay? Why not free? Very good question. Because this quiz is not the real giveaway. The top 10 is just the qualifier. So your discount on Stream Alerts is like a participation trophy for getting to the top 10. It's not the real prize. It's a qualifier. Because the top 10, they will get the discount. But then the top 6 will go on to compete for a game. And if you can't afford Stream Alerts, do not buy it. That's the point. So don't do that, though. Again, get a long-term, save your money. Trust me. You'll need it. Especially if you're like, nah, I don't got that budget right now. Good. It's not for you. You get long-term. So are you ready? Here is now the plot twist. Are you ready for the plot twist? This is the surprise I wanted to tell you. I have the quiz ready to go. How many of you? Wow! Yeah, bro. There is over 1,000 of you in here right now. I have it ready, bro. So I told them today you need to be a member if you want to play. But The problem is that we're here now. So I could run the qualifier right now on the watch list. But then everybody tomorrow won't get a chance to play the live game. So what do you think, Chad? Do we watch list them out and be like, well, yeah, it was on the watch list? Oh. Okay. So you want to do it right now then? So if you want to do it right now, I said I was going to play a game tomorrow. I said I will do the quiz. And then we'll do it. But I have it now. And you guys are here. You could run it now. I did it on Kahoot. Here's the only other problem. Kahoot is really cool. But I love it already. Here's the problem. Well, because you guys are saying give more people opportunity. It will be limited to the first 200 people that could get into it. I bought the big plan, but yeah, it only allows 200 people. So that's your other plot twist. So what do we do? Do we do it now? Or do we hold the quiz tomorrow? It's a good one, though. I have it ready to go. The plot thickens. Hold off now. Do it now. Reward the watch list. Now. Tomorrow, we got 7 hours. I know, but what if tomorrow's crazy? So people can prep. I don't know, man. It's a tough decision, right? It's a good quiz. I liked it. It was fun. Tomorrow will be crazy. You never know. You can't do half now. And then once I put out the questions, that's it. You could only have 200, so you might as well do tonight. That is what I was thinking, but I don't know why it's only 200. Because I think we will crash it with that many people tomorrow. If there's like 7,000 people, like what? Kahoot. If you're not early, you're late. Well, let me see. Let me go to the bathroom, get a water, and then we will flip a coin.
Some people don't even have dreams, you know what I'm saying? But if you blessed enough to have a dream, chase it, bro.
I had a dream like Martin, then I heard a couple stories. Never met my heroes, never had one. Never wanted things I never had, son. I got it, then I grabbed them. Looking back, these bitches Southeast sad them. Good more, don't ignore your sword for the war. Armor's no good if you leave that shit at home. I don't care if that match up with the drum. I ain't young, I ain't care about looking dumb. Out my way, we could talk when I'm done. Does it look like I'm finished? Even if I was, dog, I do my own dishes. Why the fuck you in my business? I ain't tryna be a menace. Need a couple minutes, but you're talking in your bitch and just show me that you don't get it. Look, now I wasted your time trying to reprimand, explain the basic shit so you could understand. I ain't being mean the way I teach. The big leagues ain't throwing underhand. Not the bad guy, I'm the best coach that you ever had. Something like LaMelo's dad. Mama was an immigrant, $5 an hour working with Brillo pads. We got some things we shouldn't have, so I could feel down, but I don't ever think I'm really sad. Life a miracle, but I won't give you one. But I could teach you shit, and you'll walk away with dividends. Wish you'll buy more, and then you'll wish you did it young. You missed the first harvest, but tell me about the second one. Trying to build while looking at the clouds. I'm looking at my hand, then I'm looking at the ground. Peter walked on water, but fell. When he looked around, I heard that story all my life. I think I start to get it now.
Wow.
Slow in the fast lane.
I think I start to get it now.
Really didn't listen. That's a damn shame.
Damn shame.
But that don't mean my plans change. Maybe just the landscape. Dip.
All right. So we could flip the coin, or we just do it. But it's been a while since you got a good coin flip. Heads. Yes, Kahoot is based on speed and accuracy. So even then, there's 1,000 of you now. There is only 200 spots. Top 10 qualify. Top 6 play in the Zoom game. And you could win up to... I was going to make that random too. I was going to say anywhere from 300 to 30,000, but I think we'll settle at a gold coin at around $3,200. Is that what it's at? Something like that? That could be your max gain tomorrow if you win this game. Yes. So, top 10 qualify. Top 6 play for the money. But only 200 will get to compete. And it's based on speed and accuracy. So if you get the question correct, you get a point. But the faster you do it, you're good. And you get 45 seconds a question. 20 questions. All from the watch list. If you have spent every evening with me, you should get them all right. So heads, we do it tonight. Tails, we do it tomorrow. Let's let it rip, baby. Oh, boys. Boys, the Lord tonight has blessed you with patience. You're doing it tomorrow. Nope, you're doing it tomorrow. The Lord said patience. He said patience. It was tails, my friend. It was tails. So, see, it's okay. Patience, see? I know. You thought that call was good. Patience. I didn't know. You heard it. You heard the one flip. I know you heard it. Fuck that. What do you mean I'm trolling you? I was trying to start an ETF account yesterday. Lord said no. Well, the coin is spoken. I was cool with either way, so. Oh, dude, that's going to be so fun. I have a crazy game tomorrow. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so. Can I tell you this? I'll tell you part of it. I will tell you tomorrow. I want the most realist game. So it's going to be intense. There is no rules except for you can't. There's no colluding outside of the game. You can't make any sort of communication outside. We're going to do it live on Zoom. But you could lie, you could be honest, you could do whatever you want. You will have to test your knowledge too. And your physical prowess, your mental prowess, your emotions. Oh, dude, it's insane. I have a great... So, yeah. Okay. Can we have a time, please? I don't know. That I don't know. It all depends on the market. I'm thinking maybe around 10. Maybe 11. The Yosh games. Maybe, man. Maybe. Well, it's like this week, I think a little bit of last week, because this was an important weekend. So some of that. All right, well, you prepare. I hope you watch the watch list. I mean, you might get paid tomorrow. I mean, you'll have to compete. It will be members only. So that way, too, I think you could limit some of the trolls, and it's really defined. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good, man. Nah, this is a fun game, bro. You're going to see it. You get a gold coin out of it. Like, actually, I'm very excited. I can't wait to see. So yeah, you're going to have to need a camera, too. So you can't play without a camera. I want to see you. This is going to be live. Uh-huh. You want the Range Rover? I'll give you the G-Wagon now. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been driving that car, bro. I fucking like it now. I didn't like it at first. I was like, this thing's stupid. But I fucking like it now. I'm not going to lie. I might just give you the wagon if you guys ever want to do one of those. But, yeah. I know. It's sad. I never thought. But until next time, Chad. Until next time. We must depart. You must rest. Be rested. I hope you forgot everything except the important stuff. And we play tomorrow. Get ready for this sentiment. You are blessed, my friend. Don't let having too many options and blessings be the worst of you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that be the reason why, because you got so much blessing that you could even have so many options to forego any obedience, because you blessed like that. You so blessed, obedience has a minimal consequence. Oh, y'all don't feel me. Lack of obedience, you don't feel it. You respond, dog. Stop it. They don't feel me, bro. So you blessed. Use it. Use it. Use it to your advantage. All right, baby? And don't forget why we're here every day. That's it. You flip the switch, but you mount on wings of eagles, you know? Why, baby? Why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory. God bless all of you. You know that, bro? You're a human. You're special, bro. Very weird you're on this earth. It's not weird. It's rare. But you're just very unique. Go look. The only little thing on this little ball drawing and shit. Stop it. Have a good evening. Oh, my goodness. You're a human. A human.